wrap-up. It's Sunday, November 8th. Joe Biden is now our president-elect. I'm sitting here in the Oval Office because we're doing a draft today that deals with the Oval Office. Current President Donald Trump has stated that if his votes aren't changed around, if the justice system doesn't work for him, he will have to be forcibly removed from office, which Dan allowed you to think of a great draft for this week. So I'll let you explain it. And this is Dan. That's Joe down there, by the way, if you're a first-time listener.
Yep.
But yeah, Dan, go ahead.
Hello. I'm joining you here from Trump Turnberry up in Scotland, his famous
Nice.
golf course. You can see the lighthouse there behind me, which is apparently the best halfway house in the world for golf courses. So yeah, James mentioned the draft today is if you had a team of 6 people, so that's 5 lackeys, we're going to say, and then 1 leader, to extract Trump from his barricaded Oval Office where James sits right now. Who would be on that team? We'll do it in a draft system. James, I believe the order's been pre-decided.
Yeah, it's been pre-decided. I went to random.org, and for 2 straight weeks, it's given us the decision that it'll be Joe, me, and then Dan. And then we'll snake back around. But yeah, I'm here. I just wanted to scout it out, just kind of see exactly where we'd be removing him from. And I realized the Oval Office kind of stinks. It's kind of an ugly office.
Yeah, it's not great. How much do you think the carpet's worth, the rug?
I guess probably
Millions?
A lot because it's in the Oval Office, but
Okay.
in terms of actual rug, it kind of sucks. What do you think, Joe?
I mean, I'm looking at it now. It's very Trumpian with like the faux gold,
Yeah,
So I'm thinking that he probably made it look worse than it might normally be. But I'm not sure. Is that a changing thing? Like, is that, can you add your own decor to that?
I have no idea, because I feel like even in House of Cards, it's the 2 couches, the chairs. So I don't know if it's just something that's there, or if you can I would assume you can redecorate it. It's your office.
Yeah,
you're spending the most time there.
I have a question before we start. I never watched House of Cards. Now, is it still worth watching, or is it completely ruined by the Kevin Spacey thing? Or does that make it better?
I think it makes it better. No, I don't know. I love Kevin Spacey, so it's tough. I'm a big.
We didn't have to mute James. James, if you muted yourself or something, I can't hear you anymore.
Can you not?
No, you went. I'm a big, and then it sounded like you've been censored.
Are you disavowing me?
Maybe not. Did you hear what he said?
No, all I heard was a little bit of Russian and maybe some static there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But no, I would say watch the first 2 seasons.
Okay.
The rest of it is terrible.
Yeah. Okay, I'll check that out. I'm just furiously closing tabs right now in case it's anything to do with my internet connection. But yeah, I guess should we probably get on with the draft?
I think so. I'm curious to see what direction you guys went with the draft. I have a few different angles I took on this, so we'll see. We'll see how it works. But Joe, you have the honors of the first pick.
Thank you. My first pick, one that stood out to me right away, is Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay.
He's clearly a Trump supporter, but he's been trying to kind of rehabilitate his image a little bit in his later years, and his team is so good that I do think he's starting to put some of his biases aside, and kind of participate in the betterment of society at 38, 39 years old. And I just feel like he's somebody that Trump would really really listen to, because he fits kind of all the boxes, winner, he's a big guy, I just feel like he's famous enough where Trump would listen to him. I know they have some history together as it is, and that would be my number 1 choice.
Okay, so a good choice. I'm not sure how practical Roethlisberger. I mean, he can't go 10 steps on a football field without getting hurt.
It's more the mentorship, and if he needs to hop in physically, he's still a professional athlete at the end of the day.
True. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went physical. Oh, sorry, Dan. Sorry to cut
Well, I
you
was
off.
going to say, if you're needing to maybe hurl any sort of tacticals or lethals through the
Yes.
windows as well, Big Ben's going to be a good guy to have around
You imagine
from the
taking
bottom of
Philip
the
Rivers
lawn.
instead?
If he could
What
do
is it?
Just
what?
having him throw. If you took Philip Rivers instead,
Well,
Yeah.
just throwing things like this.
Rivers is in that group as well, but I don't think he has any interest in getting him out. I think
Yeah.
Ben
No,
has
he would be counterproductive to the
exactly.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd
You
be
could do
counterproductive.
like Philip Rivers as the leader, and then like a third of his kids as the rest of the squad.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And then have a bunch of bench players as well with the rest of his kids. I went with strength in my first pick as well, Joe. I went for the Rock. I feel like you
Good
can't
pick.
do.
He was on my list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do one of these teams without the Rock. I think that's a no-brainer. So
He-
I don't have too
here's-
much to say about that.
Here was my reasoning for not making him number one. Was I do think he's going to run for president, and I think he needs to have some of the MAGA crowd on his side. So I don't think he'll
Okay.
participate. No.
Okay.
All right, Dwayne Johnson. I'm just making a note of this. Or are you specifically taking The Rock rather than Dwayne Johnson?
That's different.
Ooh, I'm gonna take.
Said
Yeah,
both.
I'm gonna take The Rock because Dwayne Johnson, little bit of a fraud. I think we've talked about his Instagram stories before, with his big food
Yeah.
meals that he doesn't actually
Big cod
eat.
guy, big cod guy.
Yeah. So he's a little too corny for me, Dwayne Johnson. So I'm taking The Rock.
Okay. All right, so my first two picks then now. I'm going with my first pick. I'm going to go with Alex Ovechkin. He's local, so he can be there pretty soon. He's obviously in Washington. Strength is on his side, and he is like good friends with Putin. So he's got that in common with Trump. I think he can get on with him. They have common ground already. And yeah, he's just a good guy. I think he kind of can play golf, Ovechkin, a little bit as well, just from the hockey crossover. And then, yeah, my second guy, I'm going to stick with the kind of the sports theme, strength theme, and things in common with Trump. I'm going with Bryson DeChambeau. Again, a lot of muscle here. We're going with muscle, but we're also going with muscle that will get on with Trump. So yeah, DeChambeau coming in with his gun show, and he can also kind of challenge Don to a round at maybe Turnberry or Trump DC, one of his many courses, and yeah, I think that may be able to lure Donnie out of the Oval Office. So yeah, those
Now,
are my
Joe,
first
do you
two picks.
do you think DeChambeau runs into the same issue that we were just saying with Philip Rivers?
Not sure. DeChambeau's a total weirdo. I think for the attention, he'll do it. So
Yeah, true.
yeah.
True.
Yeah. Although he will be down. I think he's down in Augusta at the moment, obviously warming up for the Masters. But I don't
He
know.
should
Like
be
you say,
free
for
in
the
January.
attention. Yeah.
Should be free
Exactly.
in
Doesn't
January.
have to be there today.
Yeah, so I went strength with my first pick. I'm going extraction on my second pick. So I'm going with Frank Caliendo. Dan, I don't know if you're familiar with Frank Caliendo, but he's an impressionist. He's on all the football like pregame shows, and I feel like if Trump has barricaded the door and we can just get Frank Caliendo to go and do impressions of Trump's favorite celebrities, and Trump thinks there's this group of people that loves him out there that want to come in to the office with him, I feel like we could trick Trump out of the office.
I like that.
So if I would hope that I wouldn't have to go with force, so maybe I'll send Caliendo first, some of my later picks second, and then the Rock's like the closer on my team.
Nice.
Joe, your second and third picks.
So my second pick is going to be Daryl Hammond playing Colonel Sanders.
Okay.
He's a humongous KFC fan, and I think you could lure him out by having him think that there's this the cook, the main cook of KFC has come to the White House, and he's trying to get him to come see his new KFC factory. And then my second pick is going to be Vince McMahon.
That's on my list.
I think Trump really respects a lot. And I think he can play it up to him as kind of a PR thing and make it seem like he's in on like a higher stunt, leaving and perhaps coming back, kind of leaving the door metaphorically open for a comeback. So Vince
Yeah.
McMahon and Darrell Hammond as Colonel Sanders.
McMahon as well would have great negotiator potential because he obviously he's followed by Trump on Twitter, so they could establish a discourse on Twitter DM if it was a no contact situation. We know that Trump at least would have his mobile on him, and
Precisely.
Twitter
Yes.
open.
And if this was filmed, I mean, McMahon is doing everything he can to get him out, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a great pick. I had McMahon on my list as well. I also just got text confirmation that Dwayne Johnson was the top pick of the draft. So I'm happy that that the viewers agree with me on that. All right, so I'm going. Speaking of filming, Joe, I'm going with someone that I'm going to tell that they are in a movie. I'm going with Tom Cruise, but as Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible, and I'm going to tell him this is Mission Impossible 8, and he does all his own stunts, as we all know. So he's going to have to be a part of the escape plan. I don't know. I kind of envision him coming in over top of this and getting in somehow. But I mean, he's the Mission Impossible man. He'll figure it out.
Nice. So
Never seen a Mission Impossible movie.
Really?
Never.
there's a new one on the way, isn't there? I think
I
it's
know
been
the
filmed.
There is.
Yeah.
The latest one that came out is my favorite action movie of all time. A great
Yeah.
movie.
Okay, so my third and fourth picks.
Third and fourth, yeah.
So next up, I got Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Of course.
I mean, he's
Isn't
great.
he dead?
He's
I
well.
think he's
That
dead as
does it
well.
matter?
Or is his wife
His
dead?
wife died.
His wife
I
might
think.
be
I think
dead.
Dog's
Yeah, his
still
wife might be dead.
alive
Yeah.
with Leyland. So yeah, he's good in these situations. He's good at kind of chasing down people that maybe haven't followed through on what they were meant to do. Usually they're out on bail and they've not reported or whatever, not paid their bail. I don't know. He chases down these people. So he's good in that situation. But also, I think he'd be good in this situation because he could hand deliver Barack Obama's birth certificate from Hawaii on the way as well. Maybe have it on a piece of string under the door, pulling it along. Trump would immediately go to it. He would go to it, not to look at it, just to destroy it as quickly as he can. You whip that under the door, and then maybe The Rock or Ovechkin or someone comes in a window while Trump's distracted, and yeah, you got a great situation there. So Dog doesn't travel alone. He will bring like Leyland or any of his other 13 sons with him. So Dog is my third pick. Fourth pick.
Yeah, that's a by the way, that's a great pick. And I think the Obama birth certificate thing, that might be the clincher.
It is. You got to have. We talked about tacticals before. Obama birth certificate. It's like a dead silence.
Yes.
It's really good. So next up, I'm gonna go with. I think this is a guy from a state that was close for Trump. I think he might have lost out. Did he win North Carolina in the end? Lose?
It's not called yet, but he looks like he's gonna win. Yeah.
So one of the more famous people in the Carolinas. He owns some big animals that may help us in this situation. I'm going to go with Doc Ansel. Bagavan, Dr. Bagavan Ansel. I'm thinking he arrives on the elephant in, on Pennsylvania Ave. Is that correct for the White House?
Mm-hmm.
300 and...
Now you've lost me.
No,
I knew it was Pennsylvania.
1600.
1600.
yeah,
there we go. I was testing you. Joe won.
lost,
so
yeah.
I'm going with Doc Ansel. Powerful guy. Can bring along his elephant. He's got an army of PAs/wives that can also help kind of facilitate everything that's going on.
They might attract Trump out.
Yeah.
He might, just smell someone else's wives and come running out the door.
Yeah. I feel like he must have met the Doc as well at some point. In another life, maybe. In another life.
I would assume if I had to say one thing about Doc Antle, I would assume that he's probably good friends with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Or
And also I feel
at
like...
least aspires to be.
Yeah. And I feel like Dog is kind of the Hawaiian equivalent of Doc Ansel as well. Like if Dog was on mainland USA, he would probably have gone down a similar path to Doc.
Yeah.
So I think those two will get on. There'll be some synergy there. And we'll hopefully see another great TV series later down the line that will come out of this. So there's positive outcomes kind of going forward. It's not just a January situation. It's the rest of our lives thing that we're looking at here. So that's my 3 and 4.
Okay. For my 4, I'm going kind of with what you said for Bryson DeChambeau, but I want to take Tiger Woods on my team. I think who's going to turn down a round of golf with Tiger Woods, especially someone like Trump who loves to golf so much. I feel like it's a no-brainer. If you'd almost have, no matter the situation, if Tiger Woods came and said, "I'm going to play a round of golf with you," you'd almost have to leave that room, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Unless you're you, Joe. You'd be just driving him around.
Still won't get me to do it, but
yeah. What if Usain Bolt came and said, "I want to go for a run with you"?
I think I could best him at a mile. He gets tired after 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Elliot Kipchoge or something like that, maybe. I'll get.
Who's it? Meb?
Yeah.
That's my guy. Yeah.
Mo Farah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Joe, round out your lackeys draft, as Dan called it, with your 4 and 5.
My 5 is Kristen Stewart, and I'm going to pull up the tweet really quick so I don't miss.
Okay.
So this was from October 12th. Robert Pattinson should not take back Kristen Stewart.
Because
she cheated on him like a dog.
Yeah.
And we'll do it again. Just watch. He can do much better. So I think he wants to, prove to Kristen Stewart, you cheated on Robert. You're going to cheat on whoever you're with now with me, and he'll get the wheels turning.
Yep.
And away he will go with the old Twilight superstar. And then kind of a value pick here. I mean, it has to be Putin, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it. I just felt like it was too easy, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, if I can get him in the 6th round here. I mean, that's the guy.
5th round.
No, this is my 6th.
This is your 5th. Stewart was your 4th.
Oh yeah, you're right. Wow. Well,
so you gotta have a leader.
Coach?
You could hang out.
No, he's not my coach. No.
Okay.
Putin is he rides horseback. He's strong.
Yeah.
He needs to be somebody that can put the physical threat in you. And
I mean, we've seen him play hockey.
He has a Super Bowl ring. You can entice him with the ring as well.
Yeah.
Lovecraft. So
that's right. That's right. Have you heard that, Dan? That he basically just took Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots. He basically just took his Super Bowl ring.
Oh, really?
He just kind of.
He let him look at it and then he kept it.
I don't believe that. I mean, that's what they say happened. I think Kraft gave it to him and then was like, "Oh no, he stole it from me."
Yeah, it's bad PR. Yeah, bad PR. I don't know. I choose to believe that he just kind of was like, "I'll keep this, put it on." I mean, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, Bob Kraft could just get a new ring, so maybe could be right, but we'll see. All right, my last pick. I'm going ultimate stealth here. I'm just thinking about if all else fails, we can't get into the room above with Ethan Hunt or through the door with Frank Caliendo or Tiger Woods or bashing through windows. I'm thinking about the air vents and the air ducts, and obviously there's some kind of ventilation into this room. So I'm going to go with a 10-year-old kid. It doesn't matter who the kid is, but I need someone that's intelligent enough to know what they're doing, but also small enough to make their way through the vents. I don't know what they do once they're in there. What did you say?
Bloomberg.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Michael Bloomberg. But yeah, I guess once they get through the vents, they would just have to hop down and open the door. They're not taking on Donnie one-on-one, but I feel like that's something we could figure out. My coach will put that plan together, but so I'm taking all 10-year-olds kids in the United States.
Nice. Okay, so I got my 5th and my coach right now. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, tough call because I think my coach has been taken earlier on, so I'm gonna have to rethink that one. So I'm gonna go for my 5th person. Like in I'm guessing it happens in Times Square. Like in London, we get it in Covent Garden, a place called Covent Garden in London. But those people that stand like as statues of different things, and then like people come along and pay them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with someone dressed up as an Emmy award, just standing still as a statue. And we're gonna put them outside, obviously on the lawn, and they'll stand there, and eventually, that should get his attention, and it might be a way of kind of luring him out. So yeah. I'm gonna go with someone dressed as an Emmy, and then this is the tough one. I think we'll do some honorable mentions at the end.
Yeah.
So like Vince McMahon would have been my my pick for coach, leading this whole operation, but I'm actually going to switch that up to a guy called Alan Sugar, Lord Sugar as he's known in the UK, and he is the host, I guess, or like the guy in charge of the UK version of The Apprentice. Obviously he's kind of like a rival with Trump. He doesn't get on with Trump at all. And I think he'll be a good guy to kind of be in charge of this whole operation. And I think because hopefully he'll not be kind of spearheading everything. I think he's going to be calling the shots from a little further back. It shouldn't cause too much issue with angering the Donald when it comes to actual plays being made. But yeah, I would have gone with Vince McMahon, but I'll flip it over to Lord Sugar. He's going to be my coach.
My coach, I've already talked about one canceled actor on this episode, so I might as well talk about another. I can't further cancel myself, I don't think. But I'm going to go with Liam Neeson. I feel like no one's been in more extraction type movies. I mean, he did 3 Takens. Yeah. And all his other movies where he's either extracting people or items. You got to pick up something along the way of those movies. He'll put together some good plans. I think he'll really be able to utilize the 10-year-old. I couldn't have Kevin Spacey on this team for that reason, but I think Neeson will do just fine. So yeah, I think he pulls the whole team together. So that leaves you, Joe, with your coach, and then we'll hit honorable mentions.
My coach is I decided this yesterday watching Oklahoma State, Kansas State. Mike Gundy has become a big Trump supporter as it was, wearing the OAN shirt, not missing a beat. He has the Cowboys playing really well, both on offense and defense. So he's become, I think, I mean, Dabo, I'm not really sure where he stands with Trump. I mean, I imagine he is, but the only one we have really proof, that's in that top echelon of college football that is a Trump supporter besides Hugh Freeze would be Mike Gundy. So leader of men. Big Ben might be older than him, but he will be my coach.
Okay. I like it. We did, speaking of quarterbacks, you talk about Big Ben, obviously. We did have a YouTube comment saying that they hope Colin Kaepernick has been taken. I just want to respond to that and say Colin Kaepernick has not been taken, but that would have been a good pick.
It would have been a great pick.
That would be a really good pick for honorable mentions. Dan, I know you had some honorable mentions. Actually, let's run through our list real quick. Joe, what was your full list?
The only 2 I did, I had Dwayne Johnson. I wanted to go with Big Ben first. Dan Bongino, Dana White, and what's her name? Rosie, because he hates Rosie so much. I feel like if she was around in the White House, he would have just wanted to get out.
This is one of my honorable mentions. Yeah. But who did you draft? Who was your draft list?
Oh, my draft list. I'm sorry. So we had Putin, Big Ben, Kristen Stewart, Colonel Sanders as Darrell Hammond, and who was my 5th? My 5th was Vince McMahon. Did I say that?
Yes, Vince McMahon. That was your 5th. You didn't say Vince McMahon. Yeah. And then you had Mike Gundy coaching. I had The Rock, Frank Caliendo, Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, Tiger Woods, a 10-year-old kid, and Liam Neeson. Dan, who was your 6?
I had Alex Ovechkin, local, strong, friends with Putin. Bryson DeChambeau challenged Trump to a round of golf, also strong. Then we had Doc Ansel, can provide a lot of exotic animals, can turn up on an elephant if you need to smash through a wall. That's pretty handy. Then I had someone dressed as an Emmy award that could stand outside.
Still the best pick.
Lure him out. Also, Dog the Bounty Hunter was the fifth and final lackey on the team, who would, of course, arrive from Hawaii with Obama's birth certificate. And then my coach was Lord Alan Sugar, who is Trump's UK equivalent on the Apprentice, who doesn't get on with him, but is a very smart guy who can kind of orchestrate things from afar. So yeah, that was my team.
I was trying to figure out a way to fit Martha Stewart in there, but it wasn't working out. But we had just recently been talking about how Martha Stewart took over The Apprentice from Trump on our other show. Yeah, Joe, I had Rosie O'Donnell too. Narrowly missed the list. She would have been a great pick. I just worry that she wouldn't be all that useful.
Yeah.
She'd probably just end up barricaded in the room with Trump, and they just end up arguing somehow. But it seems like it would almost be like playing, you'd be a man down essentially. Dan, who are some of your honorable mentions?
Some of my honorable mentions, I had Dave Portnoy. I thought, we might need someone to boost Trump's ego, kind of get right up his ass. Portnoy would have been the right man for that. Little Pimp, I think, would have been good. He's got some recent interaction with Trump, helped him out at some of his rallies. And yeah, he's from Miami, so obviously Trump loves people from Florida. I also had Hillary on there. His good friend Ghislaine Maxwell, who he wishes well. And maybe Meghan Markle would have been another good shout for removing. I feel like there was kind of a lack of female influence on my team, so I think Ghislaine may have been someone that Trump was happy to see in that situation.
Yeah, I had a complete lack. Maybe I'll say, I had a complete lack of female influence on my team as well. So big miss, Joe. Well, you did have Doc Antle, Dan. Doc Antle.
I know,
exactly.
I'll
give you that.
And the Emmy as well. The Emmy is if you were to put a gender on the Emmy, it's probably leans towards female.
Probably a woman. Yep. Is there anyone else we missed? Joe, did you have anyone else?
No, like I said, those were Bongino, Rosie, Dana White.
Okay. So I think that's it for our draft. Dan, I think this was a great draft.
Great category.
Great category. Great choice. But if for anyone watching, send us your suggestions for next week. I think this is basically the format we're going to be going, right? Is we're going to be drafting, maybe doing some rankings. But yeah, send us some suggestions for next week. Hope this was a good NFL Sunday pregame show. Better than actual Frank Caliendo doing whatever he does at this point. But let's sign off there. Tell everyone, go check out SNG Network, sngnetwork.com. All your latest gambling news. You read reviews on gambling sites, and then also just some good sports articles as well. But that's it for us, and we'll be back with you next week.